Right, Simon, you do the intro. Alright, Aaron, you do the intro.
Okay, welcome to the third What About Cynics podcast with me, Aaron, Harvey,
Hello!
and Simon.
Hello, yes, that is me.
This week we'll be talking about Game of Thrones, Iron Man, and all sorts of terrible British television. Stay tuned. Alright, so Game of Thrones.
Yeah, fair enough.
What's everyone thought of the third season so far?
I think that, good, but not much is happening. Again. I can kind of see that stuff's happening, but it feels like season 2 again. It feels like, something's gonna happen right at the fucking last episode.
Yeah,
What
it's got
about,
the same problem.
What about the end of the episode 3 with the hand and such?
Well, I mean,
and also, did you see the preview for episode 4? Because that looks pretty action-packed.
I haven't. In all
Okay.
fairness. But I mean, the hand. I don't know. It didn't seem like the hand is going to affect all of Westeros.
What? It's the most important thing that happens to Jamie's character. It's
Yeah,
like the biggest thing that's happened to him so far.
I know some
And
of
he's like one of the show like bigs him up to be a really important character.
I know, but you've read the book, so I wouldn't be predicting this. I just think you'd become a handless man.
But a lot of
But think of the implications. He was the best swordsman in Westeros. You know.
Yeah, I know, but I don't see how that's going to affect much outside of
Well,
Jamie.
the show gives him loads of screen time and places loads of emphasis on him, and now suddenly he's crippled and can't do any of the things that we expect him to do.
Can he use the left? Is he a lefty?
He sucks at the left hand
Sure.
with sword fighting. So yeah. But no, I agree. That's not much of a. I suppose compared to kind of season 1's things, that's. But no, I think judging from the previews for next week, it's going to be a pretty action-packed episode.
I mean, it's not even action. It's just like sort of progression.
Oh, I see.
Yeah,
So you don't
well,
think the story's progressing?
In season 1, in every episode, that like one of the main characters would make an important decision, and there would always be like the plot would start to take shape in some way. But in season 2 and 3, you don't get as much of a sense of that because there's a lot of just sort of talking, introducing characters, introducing locations,
Too many
which
characters.
takes up a lot of time.
Well, that's one of
well,
the.
they
Well,
don't
that was
really
always
have a
going to be one of the
choice.
problems.
Yeah, I know. I don't.
I mean,
Yeah.
is it really that much already? I mean, because you
They
got a
have
lot more
reduced the
characters to
number
get
of characters.
through.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
a
don't
lot
think
of them
it's.
have been combined.
I wouldn't say too many. I just think it does. It does slow it down. I guess because it doesn't like most TV shows, especially like Battlestar Galactica, would do the whole. We're focusing on 2 characters this week, finding something important. Whereas Game of Thrones has to show all of its characters, and some of them just aren't doing anything. It'd be like Battlestar Galactica, but if like in like an Adama episode, you also had to see Chief and Lee and sort of and Gaius all doing stuff as well for an equal amount of time. And that it's a really weird sort of show like system to show all the characters all the time.
I do think they need to have some kind of revelation as to the format of the episodes, because obviously chronology is quite important because of the way the books are written. But
You have to remember, like, because the stories are told through like point of view, then you can't leave a character for too long, otherwise, like he'll be doing stuff in the past of what you've just seen.
True.
So,
I don't know the book, so I wouldn't know this problem.
fair enough.
But in all fairness, like I'm seeing them do shit, and they're not really doing much anyway. So
True. Well, some of the scenes I question, like any scene that has whores in it, I still think should be cut immediately.
yeah.
Well, yeah, we agree that they're sort of running out of time to still be having like lol isn't Podrick a fucking stud kind of scene.
What was that?
But then if they went missing, then you might lose a little sense of.
Go on.
It might be less cheery. And you
I
might lose.
thought you were going to say about the audience, because I imagine you'd lose quite a lot of the audience if you took the whores out, which is really sad.
Who gives a shit about that element of the audience? Like seriously, if you're watching it for whores, go look on the fucking internet. Loads of whores on the internet.
Unfortunately.
And they're doing
also lack of whores in Littlefinger, because the horse were acceptable when Littlefinger was around at least.
Yeah, Littlefinger's not really hanging about with his hose anymore. Sort of everyone
No.
else. It's like Littlefinger, they were like, oh shit, Littlefinger isn't like keeping his like, you know,
His whole ratio up.
his whole ratio up, so now we got to bring in other fuckers to be fucking whores. We even got to have a little kid fucking whores, and then he can be really good with the whores, which was funny. I did enjoy it, but I agree, it probably could have not been in there.
But that made me at least laugh.
It made me laugh.
The horse scene itself hadn't. If Tyrion had just said, "Oh, I left Podrick with some whores," and then he'd come in and be like, "Oh, the horse didn't want the money because I was so good," and it'd been over in a minute, and I'd be like, "Yeah, sure, that was fine." But that scene took like 7 minutes.
Exactly. I think the problem with Game of Thrones is just that it's always interesting. It's always entertaining. It's just not going anywhere. It's kind of like living with like a fucking stoner. Like you'll always like, yeah, he'll be interesting to talk to, but if you're like, hey, do you want to go to the cinema? I'll be like, no, I want to stay in. And nothing progresses, and that's quite frustrating.
You're saying that Game of Thrones has gathered an addiction over the past 2 seasons.
Yeah, like it just wants to sit around, and that's fine because we're having a nice chat. But I want to move on with my life.
Well, I think he's going to get his act together soon, hopefully.
Okay.
Well, I think the next episode has the words Varys meets his better as the synopsis, which I'm not sure what event in the book that is, but that sounds interesting. People think it might be Olenna.
Okay. Well, there are 3 big things that seem to be happening from the preview, from what I saw, which was the one involving the Hound. I'm sure you remember, Simon.
Is that finally going to happen?
That's happening. There is also Cresta. That's apparently happening next week or tomorrow.
Yeah.
And finally the Dragon Gate kind of thing.
Oh yeah.
It's happening. So I'm not looking forward to that because I think that's fucking stupid. But
I think the problem with Game of Thrones as well is that it's like failing the Daenerys test, which is that when the most boring character in the show is progressing the plot the most, that's when you have a problem. And currently Daenerys is doing the most stuff.
Yeah, well, she's got quite a lot of stuff to do for a bit. Whereas, I think one of the main problems of even with the books is the kind of the disconnect between Daenerys and the rest of Westeros.
Yeah,
because I think that's one of the reasons that Dance with Dragons took so long to write. It's one of George R. R. Martin's excuses, anyway.
Well, because Daenerys is fucking about for so long.
Because she needed to. I think he was either that they needed to burn time while she got out of there, or it was just he called it a knot or something that he got himself into with her.
He's got 2 more books, hasn't he? Right?
Yeah.
Man, he's dead.
I agree. I was talking about this 2 days ago. I said I was saying I don't think he'll live.
Exactly. I mean I would stop reading them now because he's dead. Like this.
I want to know if they've asked him to go on a diet or anything, or kind of like if they've gave him a trainer or something.
Oh God. Well, because the problem is if he dies, if he keeps getting fat, he'll die soon. But if he lives too long, he'll get Alzheimer's and he won't be able to write it. So they need to hit that sweet spot of old age just before he dies. Where he I
don't think it's really his age either, because I mean he's old, but he's not like cripplingly old. It's just
pretty old, and since it takes him a decade, he's like over 70, and it takes him a decade to write each book.
Like he's a decade to write each book. It took him 5 years to write Dance of Dragons, and that's the longest it's taken.
Dead.
You're over exaggerating it. He might die. Yes.
Dead.
I think it's about. I think there's a. I wouldn't bet either way at the moment.
What do we think of the casting in season 3?
I think Brendan Blackfish is really good.
Yeah, I agree.
Judging from the cards of the Game of Thrones game I've seen, yeah, Brendan Blackfish is pretty good.
Excellent.
I don't think he looks like he does in the cards, actually.
What do you think about the rest of the characters, Fabi? Because obviously you're the one who doesn't have the kind of preconceptions to go with them. Like the new characters.
I mean, to be honest, it's that problem. There's so many characters, I haven't really seen much of them. Like, there's the guy who was in the film Black Bull, who is like the leader of the Band of Brothers, are they? Yeah. Like,
Dondarrion.
I don't really know who he is, other than a bit, of a ruffian.
He was vaguely in season 1.
Yeah, so I don't really.
You mean I think you're talking about Thoros of Myr.
Wait.
Oh.
And then there's that the dad from Submarine. He
Stop referring
just
to them
cut
as
off
things
Jamie.
they've been in other than.
Because I
Submarine
haven't
is a really good film, so I'll give him credit for that.
I haven't seen most of I haven't seen a lot of these characters. Like I don't know what he is really, other than a bit like
Who's he talking about, Simon?
the
I
guy that cut off
actually
Jamie's
can't
hand.
remember, but
Guy that cut off Jamie's hand.
Oh, Locke.
Yeah,
Do
like
you
I don't.
recognise
Supposed to
Locke's
refer to as
actor?
Locke.
Shit.
the artist formerly known as Vargo.
So I don't.
Yeah, they're saying he shouldn't. That's technically a different character to one in the book, which is completely pointless because it's exactly the same character.
I don't know. So I haven't really gotten a sense of any of the characters really. So
What
their
about-
casting, yeah, they just look like people. Like even Will Mackenzie, what's his name, Crook.
Mackenzie Crook.
He's really the only one that annoyed me, just because I just don't like Mackenzie Crook that much.
I
So
feel like they're underusing him because he's a massive asset.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, this is the thing, because like he's also they've combined like 4 characters into him, so he should probably be doing stuff because he's got a lot of stories to live out.
Yeah, well, they seem to be rushing Jon Snow's storyline as compared to the book.
Yeah, I agree. Also, what do you think, actually, Harvey? The 2 kid actors who are in Bran's story now, Jojen and Miro, or as you might know him, Love Actually Boy, if we're going by your classification.
Love
system.
Actually Boy. There we go. I got him.
There you go.
Yeah. Again, he just popped in. He was like, all right. I mean, I didn't really get a sense of his character that much.
Fair enough.
But yeah, he seems important. Like even Bran's story's moving ahead, but you've already told me that not much happens really with Bran, so it's
I
not
might
really.
have said that in anger.
I'm not really that interested. But
Well,
yeah,
he's still. It's not. It's more that he has a very long way to go and a lot of walking to do.
Oh, okay. But yeah, I
And
mean,
no legs to do it.
all of these people are like, I don't know what their characters are like, so I can't judge it with the casting. I just know that yeah, lots of famous English actors are turning up, and I can't really tell who they are because they're not being giving it much screen time, or at least doing anything with it.
That's very fair.
It's different if you just watch the show, which you can't remember either of you now because you read the books.
True. Well, I mean, you have to remember, I was reading the books like halfway through season 1, so I barely had any time with just watching the show.
True.
But
Yeah,
I think in general the casting has been really good. In particular, Tormund Giantsbane, who obviously isn't that big of a character, but they just got like the whole like rugged ginger man perfectly.
I hope they managed to keep him around.
Yeah, and I agree that well, I don't know whether you were approving of Thoros of Myr, Harvey, but
who's that
I
again?
think the
Submarine.
the guy who
Submarine,
you think is
alright.
the leader of
Is he not the leader?
Yeah.
Submarine, Black Ball, Love Actually. What great
Okay,
characters
yeah.
these are.
he's just about sort of mad enough to pull off Thoros of Myr.
True. Though weirdly,
Okay,
I always imagined Forest of Myr as black. Like,
What?
because they described him as like a fire priest or whatever. I thought he was all exotic.
He thought he was all burnt. Is that what it was, Aaron?
No, not even. I don't know. I always because they say he came from across the sea as well, and you know,
True.
like kind of like
Oh, yeah.
Salador Sands from Lys, and that's not far away from there, and he's black as black.
I think the problem with the character names as well is that because you read the books, you probably hear them said all the time. I swear to God, in the episode, they like meet someone, they're like, "Oh, what's up, Thorin," and then it never gets mentioned again.
Yeah.
And for some reason, I have
names
a
to
harder time
remember.
remembering the names because they only mention it once.
Yeah, well, obviously, yeah. I mean, in the book, you've got to write the name a lot,
Yeah.
but we
So that's
never
why
really
that's
hear
why I
it.
got that's why I got submarine.
Submarine.
It's easy
Fair
to
enough.
remember it.
I like that.
I didn't really like the Mance Rayder actor.
No, I didn't. I didn't like him when they cast him either. When I saw a picture of him in Rome, I was like, eh.
Yeah, he looks a bit too sort of like tired.
Hmm.
Like I thought
Like-
Mance Rayder would be a bit more of a rogue.
Yeah, young and kind of. Yeah, I mean, you know, when they say like he plays like a, you know, he's like a bard, etc. You're expecting kind of a bit more glamour.
Yeah.
That was a good pun, by the way.
Yeah.
There you go. Thank you.
So
Yeah,
so I mean, have we said everything about Game of Thrones season 3?
Yeah, I think so. For now. I mean,
We're all disappointed, but really sort of not that disappointed because it was good.
yeah, it's still quality, and I'm optimistic for the next couple of episodes. I mean, especially for the ending 2 episodes, I think are going to be great. So, what about you, Simon?
yeah.
You optimistic as well?
No, I'm enjoying it so far. I think like the new characters that are introduced are being done quite well in general. I'm wondering whether they're going to be able to sort of like pull everything back into order after sort of the amount of changing to the plot they're doing. What with Rob's warpath and Melisandre going completely off the book
Oh
radar.
yeah,
Is
what
that
is
is,
that? What
is that
was
really a
that?
problem that like they're changing it, or is it
Well, you
like
have
really
to,
delicate?
as
Is it like
Simon
the
said,
space-time continuum? We can't affect anything.
as Simon said earlier, or like when we were talking, like it's kind of like for each thing you change, then something that further down the line is probably going to be affected by it.
Fair
Yeah,
enough.
because
And
there's tiny details that might become really important, or that might just become just plain old plot holes if you change them.
True. I think that's probably a good thing about TV shows. You can hide behind plot holes a little more, which isn't a good, which
Yeah.
isn't a good thing. But there's so much information. It's like, yeah, because I hear people like picking holes in Battlestar Galactica that I just don't remember happening.
Yeah. Well, they have a chance to fix
Well, there's an even bigger plot
the
hole in the
Dragon
last episode.
Gate plot hole
God.
in the next episode.
they fix it.
Well, they have a chance to fix it.
Oh, true.
They won't.
They might do. I
No,
don't
they'll
know.
have a whore instead.
Yeah.
That's all that'll happen.
You don't
Honestly,
need to plot for your
Also,
cause.
by the way, what the fuck was up with that music at the end of episode 3?
Oh.
Like, it was slightly, it was a bit, I don't know, because Simon had to explain to me that it wasn't just a punk rock song. It was actually
I think-
actually the lyrics to
Yeah.
like a bard song. But it kind of ruined the sort of feel of the show.
Yeah, I think it should have been sung by a period band. I mean, I don't even like punk rock, but I think it should have been sung by a period band, or even by there's just one guy, because that's who it's sung by in the book.
Although I don't like saying punk rock because I don't think it was punk rock, and I know someone's gonna get annoyed and be like, "Oh, it wasn't punk rock. It was retro rock,
It was pop
or
punk,
retro punk, or
yeah,
progressive
exactly.
punk."
We could just
Jesus
argue it was
Christ.
some form of punk, and then
Exactly.
everyone should stop being a douche about it.
Personally, I'm totally okay with the decision to put that song in that style in the credits at the end of that scene, because it's the anthem for like the journey that Jamie and Brienne go on afterwards.
Yeah, but does it need to be in punk form?
I think
I
it
don't
had
see
more-
why not.
I think it had more meaning if it wasn't in punk form. But
I think it was.
I do like this. I do like the punk song within itself, so I'll let it lie.
Yeah, I've actually started warming to the Nationals version of The Reigns of Castamere.
Good.
I really
Um,
like it.
There's a good
Don't know
song
how
that
that
fits
happened.
with the feel of the show.
Yeah, that was well done.
Feels like something someone would sing in a tavern late at night.
Though I think Jerome Flynn's version was also really good.
Not aware of it.
Bron.
Oh right, yeah. How do you know the Lannister song? Drunk Lannisters.
Whee!
But
That's
yeah.
one thing. I
Yeah.
like Bron is smashing out the lines this season again.
Bronn is
Yeah.
a great character.
Well, they've made Bronn really sort of center stage. I can't really remember how important he is in the books.
Nowhere near as he's just around. He's never just around quipping funny stuff to Tyrion as he is
Yeah.
in the show.
Because I mean, he reaches a certain rank, obviously not trying to give anything away in the
Hmm.
books, and then sort of something happens that makes him not really important.
No.
Well,
the
maybe
plot.
I don't know. He's become because you still hear about him and he's still causing problems. I think he'll come back into it
I don't know, because like
in a big way.
I don't know, he's sort of interchangeable with just a sort of a random rebellious mercenary.
By the way, is Bronn was Bronn the guy who used to be in a boy band?
Yeah, Bron not a boy band. Bron is Jerome of Robson and Jerome.
That's it. Yeah.
If you
I'd
want to
say-
refer people by their past careers,
There we
it's
go.
your so
I'll
key
tell you
to
what.
do.
Rihanna tried to hit acting in Battleship, but I don't think any singer's ever done it as well as Bronn has.
True. Well, I mean, Alfie Allen's got the musical connection as well, doesn't he? Because he had the song written
Yeah.
about him. So.
Speaking of
Every-
which, I really like the casting of that guy from Misfits as Theon's assistant, his sidekick.
Oh yeah.
But unfortunately, if you read the casting information, it tells you who he actually is,
really, that's
which is
bullshit.
kind of a spoiler.
They should call him. Ah. Well, I can't say that either, can I?
No, I think you can.
How can I? In that case, they should call him Reek.
Yeah, they should.
But yeah.
Yep.
I think we've discussed Game of Thrones.
I think we have.
Until the next 3 episodes, or 4 maybe, because otherwise we'll be one short. Unless the finale's so good, we can talk about that.
I never want to speak about Game of Thrones again.
You love Game of Thrones.
Actually, you know the one thing that annoys me with Game of Thrones? I've started noticing stupid people who I hate. I don't know why I keep saying stupid online. Stupid people who I hate who like the show as well, and that puts me off watching a show for some reason.
Yeah, I've noticed quite a lot of people people I never thought would read the books have
It's
started
the
reading
whores.
the
Yeah,
books.
It's the whores. It's all the whores. People just are in it for the whores.
Well, I see a lot of people sort of saying "Oh, talking about the books on Facebook," but they're obviously just posing because they want people to know they've read the books.
Indeed.
Wait for a fucking meme that says, "Oh, that awkward moment when you talk about the Game of Thrones books and look like a nerd." It'll be like, oh, fuck's sake. It'll be like, oh, why does something become...
Heaven forbid we look like nerds. Anyway, speaking of nerds, Iron Man 3. Though I say Iron Man is probably the most socially acceptable hero at this point. Like, have you seen the car advertising that's gone behind Iron Man 3?
Really?
It's like tested by Tony Stark.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
That's shit.
Like, I mean,
That can't be accurate.
That's such a lie. That's such a lie. That's false advertising. That's like saying Red Bull's going to give you wings.
True.
But at least
or
that's...
that Magnum advert that just when you bite it, it comes straight back. Like, but yeah, no, I don't understand. Kind of like, when did Iron Man become so ragingly cool?
I don't know.
Because people buy into the whole facade of sort of rock and roll, midlife crisis, sort of technophile persona,
which you can only really pull off if you're a billionaire. Because I've seen my uncle try and pull it off, and he really just drives around in a Land Rover listening to Radio 1. And it doesn't look as cool.
That is exactly the kind of person who likes Tony Stark as a character.
Exactly. And they try and build
buys
grow
the
a
car
bad
that Tony
goatee.
Stark test drives.
Jesus Christ. But yeah. What specifically do you want to discuss about Iron Man 3? Do you want to talk about fucking Rocket piece of shit raccoon?
Well, he's not going to be in Iron Man 3, unfortunately for everyone involved. But if we are going to jump straight to the gold mine that is Rocket Raccoon, Marvel in 2014 are making Guardians of the Galaxy, which is a comic I've read very little of, actually. But from what I have read, then it's based around 5 characters who are the Guardians of the Galaxy. One of which...
It's based around Over the Hedge.
It's not based around Over the Hedge.
It is. It's a spin-off of
only Rocket Raccoon is an anthropomorphic anthropomorph. Everyone else is fine.
Yeah. He's going to be voiced by Bruce Willis.
Of which Harvey takes issue with is he's a space commander from a faraway galaxy who happens to look like an Earth raccoon.
Now,
and
you've misrepresented me there, Aaron. Right?
Have I?
I don't hate Rocket Raccoon.
I said you take issue.
Okay. I don't even take issue with the guy who he is, alright? He's a great guy. If he's got a Londoner accent, all the better. If he's played by Danny DeVito, all the better. But my problem with Rocket Raccoon is that as great as he might be when he's hanging around all the other animals in his CG form,
doesn't hang around other animals.
He is. He hangs around with a squirrel and I've seen this movie before. He hangs around with
Cracks the Destroyer.
Yeah.
He hangs around with
he's a squirrel, right?
A space cow. No, he's a fucking gargantuan.
Oh.
He hangs around with like a space cowboy and a ninja.
I must be getting confused with some sort of DreamWorks movie.
I think you are.
Oh, sorry. Rocket Raccoon by himself, hanging around with all his CGI buddies, is fine. But when Rocket Raccoon, because they're going to try and force these two universes together, and
they're in the same universe.
I know, but they're going to actually put them together. Because in all fairness, Rocket Raccoon's hanging out in space. He doesn't need to meet Tony Stark or any of the others. But I think as soon as I see fucking Tony Stark going, "Oh, you're a furry little fella, aren't you?" As soon as I see that. Fucking Tony Stark making jibes at fucking Raccoon, who's a space commander with a gun. I can't watch those films anymore. Because
I'm inclined to agree. I
it
mean,
looks so shit. And there is.
how does it serve have Rocket Raccoon be a raccoon? Like in the original design, why did they decide that he had to be a raccoon?
Is
I
that even
think it
that
was
bad?
so he could be small and rocket around on a jetpack,
See that,
etc.
that's funny by itself. He sounds like he should be in a platformer,
Well,
not in the fucking
well, no, he's a
Iron Man
serious
4.
character.
Or he
Like
should
this,
be a dwarf, hence casting Peter Dinklage as
Yeah.
Rocket Raccoon.
Well, you keep like searching for Peter Dinklage, and it comes up with Rocket Raccoon.
no,
No,
he keeps
the other
searching
way
Rocket Raccoon, and
around.
it comes
Oh,
to
okay,
Peter
sorry.
Dinklage. Which, while I know Rocket Raccoon is going to be CGI, if any, if Marvel, for God forbid, gets hold of this, then make Peter Dinklage Rocket Raccoon,
Definitely.
please.
And I want his little English accent as well. I'm going to rocket into your tennis stock.
But no, I mean, like, I think you
have his
look at
baby's
Rocket
pink.
Raccoon like he can't have any kind of emotional or kind of dramatic depth to him.
No, he
He
can.
can't.
He can. No, he can. He genuinely can. I've seen it done with Over the Hedge. Bruce Willis brought me to tears.
Stop.
I'm just saying. I'm using an example. The only example of a talking, walking raccoon that I know in a film. All I'm saying is that I don't think it will emotionally resonate when he's staring into the eyes of Tony Stark. I don't think it's gonna look right. I think it's gonna look shit. And the CG, I know, even if the CGI is amazing, it's still gonna be him talking to a fucking raccoon. Like right now, he's
He
talking.
talks
he-
to he talks to Hulk and the God of Thunder.
yeah, but the
What
God of
so-
Thunder is still a bloke who might
Yeah.
live in a different dimension. I can accept that. I can
What
even accept that maybe a man. If the Hulk though turned into a fucking little raccoon, it would be worse. I don't know why. It would just. I can't see it working. If it
Well, a
works,
raccoon in the context of humans makes the raccoon
Yeah.
look a lot more like a raccoon and less
Exactly.
like a anthropomorph.
If it was Marvin the Martian, it would be fine. But the fact it's a raccoon makes it funny because it's a raccoon. What's it
yeah,
gonna be
well, that
going like?
is-
Is Tony gonna run into it while it's like grading through his fucking trash at night? And it's like, Rocket Raccoon, stop knocking over my trash cans.
Rocket Raccoon would never
and
rummage
Hulk's
through
there,
trash.
like in the
Is
office.
that- I
At the
can't
end of the
help
event,
it,
he
it's
goes,
by
stop
nature."
knocking over the trash cans.
He's not a raccoon. He's not a wild raccoon. He's a
is.
space commander.
Yeah, and he's
He-
gonna get like fired or something, and so he's
He's
gonna have to
a-
live life as a raccoon. He's gonna get banished on Earth to live the
the
life.
master of strategy.
Yeah, he's really good at getting those trash cans.
Okay. Rocket Raccoon and Tony Stark aren't even going to feasibly meet until possibly Avengers 2, and even then it's unconfirmed.
Okay.
We're going to go for at least like 4 more Marvel films until that happens. I think in that time, like, because I don't know, what's Tony Stark fighting in this one? He's fighting against Mandarin, isn't he? I mean, Ben
It's-
Kingsley's pretty weird looking as it is. He's not far removed from a raccoon.
Hang on, is that just Guy Pearce? Who is Guy Pearce? What's his character? I don't know much about him. All I know, it looks like Rise of the Iron Man.
What's this?
Iron Man 3 looks like Rise of the Iron Man.
You mean, right, oh, do you mean
Yeah.
Rise of the Silver Surfer?
No, I'm doing a Rise of the
What?
Dark Knight.
Oh, I see.
Because it looks like that.
Yeah, well, true. That's just because that sells now. I don't think the actual film will have that tone because it's all set in like China and stuff, or it's like and they've got that. They've got the patriotic Iron Man as well, Captain Iron, or whatever it's
Okay.
called.
So yeah, who is Guy Pearce's character?
Guy Pearce, Ben Kingsley.
I thought it was Guy
Who's-
Pearce.
Is Guy Pearce in that film as well? I don't know.
Shit, there's two of them.
Ben Kingsley is playing the main bad guy, who is called Mandarin in the comics.
Okay.
So I don't think Ben Kingsley is actually like this. I think Ben Kingsley said he's not doing the Mandarin of the comics. He's doing his own Mandarin, which is fine. I mean, well, no, it's not fine, but whatever. He's gonna do it, so whatever.
I mean, how much creative freedom is he going to be given?
I don't know. To be fair though, he said he didn't care about appeasing comic book fans, which is probably an edgy thing to say.
That worked in Thunderbirds.
It worked in The Dark Knight as well. Ooh.
Ooh. That was Ben Kingsley related, though.
Oh, I see. Oh, true, actually, yeah. That one was just being petty. Yeah. I actually seen the Thunderbirds movie.
Yeah, well, it was directed by fucking Riker, so it was never going to be good. That movie sucks ass.
But no, yeah. Rocket
yeah,
Raccoon.
go
I
on.
mean, we're even going to have Giant Man before Rocket Raccoon and Tony Stark might meet. A man whose power is literally that he can turn as big as a mountain and as small as an ant.
Oh. Right.
So Rocket Raccoon's redundant then, because he can be the one who gets into small spaces.
That's true.
Well, no, because Rocket Raccoon serves the Guardians of the
Yeah.
Galaxy.
Rocket Raccoon has a title. He's got the
Would
team.
you like it if he wasn't called Rocket Raccoon? Is it that Rocket Raccoon is a dumb name?
No, it's the fact if he could be he's a raccoon. He could be called Rocket Man or Rocket Alien. He's a raccoon. It's funny. He doesn't even look. Oh god. I can
Fair
just
enough.
imagine him in the trash cans. I can just see it.
I understand that fundamentally I'm not going to convince you that it's a good idea to have a CGI raccoon
I'm happy.
in the Avengers.
I'm happy that you're happy because, to be honest, I don't see the big thing behind the Marvel films. I enjoyed the Avengers, but I think most of the superhero movies, like, they're not that deep or that interesting, and the plots usually aren't that good.
Yeah.
They're just
To be fair.
they're pretty cut and formulaic.
Yeah.
So-
Well, no, I think up until now, then it was just they were like that because they were building to the Avengers. I think
Yeah.
Iron Man 3 is going to be interesting in the sense of we've now got past the Avengers. They need to make good movies in their own right. They can't just justify it as this is leading to the Avengers.
Well, they can. They got the Avengers too.
Well,
Well,
they
no,
can
but
justify it as we're still riding on the wave created by the Avengers. Everyone will go and see this film, so we might as well make a piece of shit.
I think it's pretty lazy that they weren't not trying to make an average film in the first place. But
I'm kind of annoyed that Mark Ruffalo's not in it apparently, like from what I've heard. Because I
That's
think, you know,
stupid.
I mean,
They were
he even
hanging out.
drove. Yeah, he just drove around in Tony Stark's car at the end.
it's odd.
But I guess we assume they broke up after some bad sex.
It's not like Mark Ruffalo's that expensive.
Well, indeed, I'm pretty sure he's getting about. Maybe the Hulk's more expensive to animate than Mark Ruffalo is to hire.
He doesn't even need to become the Hulk. He can just say hey.
Oh, just like just hanging around in the flat, like hey.
Because basically, as soon as you get the Hulk, then again, actually, it causes problems again. Like it's sort of like whenever like if they make a Justice League that's like sort of canon, why didn't Batman be like, oh shit, Superman, can you come help me with this nuclear situation? Like if Iron Man 3's ever in like a problem, he'd be like, oh Hulk, can you help? Because you're fucking indestructible and you also listen to commands now. It's got the weird
I
thing.
see what
think
you mean, yeah.
Yeah, there's weird like little plot holes turning up that shouldn't be a problem, but I think they are. Because
I don't think they are though, because like Hulk's got his own shit to do. I mean, if in the situation where we described, where Bruce Banner is literally just playing fucking snooker on Tony Stark's table, and then he doesn't show up, then maybe. But if we assume just normally that Hulk's got things to do, Bruce Banner has things to do. I mean, I don't think it's that big a deal. I mean, Superman probably had things to do.
Couldn't he do them really quick?
Well, he might have had to fight General Zod or something. You can't do all these things. Or, maybe he stepped on a lump of kryptonite.
Fair enough. I mean, yeah, I don't see how it would combine, but I mean, you seem to think it will. So I hope. I've seen shit that I didn't think would work. So I assume it can. I assume it can work.
Oh, definitely.
Just-
But I mean, I'm not sure how likely a Guardians of the Galaxy and Avengers crossover is.
Yeah.
Because that's an awful lot of talent to get in one place, especially because
True.
that's two super teams. Because one super team is expensive, I imagine. Having to pay Jeremy Renner, like Scarlett Johansson, and all the actual Avengers' wages is hard. Let alone. Speaking of which, did you hear that Scarlett Johansson, Black Widow, is going to be the co-star of Captain America 2?
Yeah, weren't you saying this is just a way for her to get her own movie, but not really? I
Yeah.
hope that's what they're doing with Hawkeye.
Yeah,
'cause
thanks.
Hawkeye doesn't
Hawkeye's
do
a
no
better
fucking movie.
character. I think he was criminally underused in the Avengers.
Yeah, I didn't even. He got hit on the head. That's all that really happened with him.
Well, yeah, he just got brainwashed, didn't he?
Yeah, I think. Yeah, him and what's her name? Black Widow.
Yeah, Black
Yeah,
Widow.
they don't make that much sense as the super team.
Well, as a couple as well. Yeah.
Like I would be fine if like she was in control of communications or something, but
Well, I
she
think
she shouldn't be on the ground, not because she be a lady, but because she be a woman with a pistol, whereas the Hulk is fucking Hulk.
Yeah, and you've got
Yeah.
God, Super Soldier.
Exactly. Yeah.
But no, I mean, well, I think the two of them as shield agents made sense. The two of them as the other two Avengers quite.
Yeah, they didn't seem to. Were they there by accident? They should have been there by accident. I can't remember much of that film.
No, they weren't even there by accident. They just
Yeah.
went down with them. Because for some reason, Hawkeye seems to think he has a place.
Yeah,
on
he
that
hasn't even
team.
been around for most time. Like, if I'm like upstairs and there are people in my lounge watching a film, and I walk down, even I'm awkward about joining.
Then again,
So I don't know
Hawkeye's
why
technically got
Hawkeye thinks he can
superpowers.
just pop into the Avengers.
Hawkeye has more superpowers than Black Widow, to be fair.
True.
Because he's at least got like super sight and vague super strength. Well, not super strength, you know what I mean? He's stronger than the average man.
But he does have a limited quiver.
Well, yes.
I mean,
quiver. Nice.
well, I mean,
Should we move on to the Man of Steel?
Yeah,
Because that's kind of in the same ballpark.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Trailer
What do you
3.
think about the trailer? Because I mean,
You go first. What do you think?
yeah, I kind of like it when they do the whole kind of fuzzy buzz trailer, because it means they can show more if you actually look at it, because it's slightly more rewarding.
What's fuzzy buzz?
Like, you know, because the trailer was like kind of all kind of like black and white and blurry, etc. Well, the trailer I saw, unless you've seen different trailers.
Hang on, you talking about the viral one? Where
Yeah,
it's...
the one.
Oh no, that's a bit of viral. There's an actual third trailer.
Oh, is there? Shit.
Yeah, it shows more of the war battle. Yeah, it seems to be a war on Krypton. I mean, I didn't know there was a war on Krypton. I just thought it got destroyed by the sun.
Yeah, it did.
But there seems to be a war going on.
There are a couple of wars on Krypton, but I'm not sure why any of them would appear in the Man of Steel.
Sure.
But I'll have to watch it. I mean, obviously now I'm a bit out of my league here, so you'll have to take it from here. But if you can explain some of the stuff that happens, I can try and help.
It shows more of his father talking.
Okay.
I didn't know that they knew that Earth existed. I thought they were just. They also seem to know that he's going to become superpowered.
But when he gets there.
Yeah, they seem to be saying stuff that they wouldn't know. I mean, I don't know much about Superman. They also really coolly explain what the S on his name is. They don't actually say Superman. People have been complaining about that joke. Basically, she says she sees the S on his suit. He's in he's in confinement. Not really, because he could escape at any point. But she's saying she says, "Oh, what does the S stand for?" And he says, "On my planet, it's not an S. It stands for hope." And she says, "Well, on our planet, it looks like an S. What if it could stand for?" And then there's a cheap joke where someone in the interrogation center hits the microphone and makes some white noise, which blurs her out. But I think that's quite cool that he isn't called Superman. That the S stands for hope. I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean,
yeah, it seems like it's making it less. He seems more interesting, and it seems like they put more thought into it, which I hate saying because it's written by David S. Goyer. Yeah, but he does know his shit.
Well, I mean, I don't really think you can attribute that to good writing, can you? Because that's just a fact from the comics.
Well, he just seems to be. At least he's read them.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, David S. Goyer is a big comic fan, isn't he? I think
Exactly,
that's one of the things he has going for him. Well, in your books, at least. I mean, I don't think he's terrible.
But yeah, I mean,
I'm
yeah.
gonna watch Da Vinci.
Superman. No, fuck no. I've seen that shit. Yeah, no.
But yeah, no. I saw that quote about he will be a god to them, etc. And yeah, they did. Well, I think it's. But they were. It's not like the Kryptonians were primitive. They knew that if he went to a planet with low gravity, then he'd be better.
Okay, that's true. Well, I mean, yeah. So he's yeah, he seems interesting. They seem to be building the world better. There seems to be a lot of people complaining about how it's an origin story again. I don't particularly mind the first film being an origin story. I mean, it'd be fine if they dumped it halfway in, but origin stories are important, and it does lend you to someone's motives. Because Batman doesn't have the same motives at the end of the third film during the third film that he does in the first film.
True, but equally, I mean,
yeah.
I'm pretty sure Superman's origin story is up there with Jesus and the kind of the American persona. Like, most people know what Superman's done. I agree, and I mean, I think it's an interesting enough origin story, and yeah, I mean, how else are you going to do it? You're just going to have, hey, it's Superman.
Yeah, well, exactly. An origin story is important. It's just that an origin story isn't the problem. It's just that usually they're quite boringly done. Like Captain America is not an interesting origin story that much, and to be honest, Thor's is pretty fucking standard. He becomes nice man because he meets Natalie Portman, and that's basically it.
Was asshole, got taught lesson.
Exactly, yeah. Whereas Superman hopefully will be more complex than that. But from what Superman, I mean, it looks fucking amazing anyway. And
yeah.
I mean, Zack Snyder's only directing, which is a good thing because I don't like when he writes stuff.
Sure.
So well, I think it will be really good. But people are complaining. I don't know why.
What do you think of the news that Chris Nolan might be, or is now technically going to be in charge of a kind of Nolan versus Justice League?
I think we already talked about this, didn't we? But I want him to do other stuff like Interstellar. Yeah. I don't care. I don't think Nolan's the best guy for the job and is the only person that can do it. I don't know why everyone gets behind one man doing the job. It makes no sense to me.
Yeah. I
'Cause it's
really
not
hope
like
they don't do it, but it does seem like they're going to now. So
yeah. Oh well, I mean, I'm not fully really interested in these big like world building movies.
I am,
'Cause
but purely because I think
yeah,
that they're if comic books are going to ever stop just being kind of a fad and break out on their own kind of away from blockbusters, then they're going to need a thing, and this is
true.
a pretty good thing.
It seems more like a response than, and that's why I think it's going to be messy because it seems
Oh yeah,
like
well
it's a response.
it's definitely a oh shit. The Avengers did it in style and
Yeah,
grassroots almost.
exactly.
We
So
should
we're
probably
gonna
do
do
it
it
from top
rushed.
down and very rigid and just try every option that fails.
I guess. I mean, yeah. It just
Kind
seems
of
to be like
tragic, really.
I don't think Nolan will do it because it seems to be like like boxing people into shit that they could be doing much more interesting stuff. So yeah. I mean, what do you
Indeed.
think? I mean, you don't care either, really, do you?
Simon or me?
Oh, either of you.
Well, I mean, I want the Justice League movie to be good, obviously, because I like DC more than I like Marvel at the end
I
of the
want
day.
every movie to be good ever.
Well,
I don't
indeed, you know what I mean. I have special interest in the Justice League being good, especially kind of Superman and Flash. And I'm also really interested to see what they do with Wonder Woman. I want, that's.
True.
I think if they can nail Wonder Woman for the like the 21st century, then they're on to a winner.
Because if they just
I don't
make it
think
like Black
Nolan can.
Widow,
That's one thing. I think Nolan is woefully ill-equipped to deal with Wonder Woman, though.
Nolan can't write doesn't really
Women.
write women very well. I don't know
No, I don't
why.
think he even knows women exist. I think any woman ends up in his film as accident.
Yeah, you know,
Swallowed on stage.
he's got his wife Emma Thomas. They seem to be
I
nice, but
don't think he knows she's a woman either. I think it's all
just thinks he's a friend that hangs
Yeah.
around. Why are we sleeping in the same bed, Emma?
I just assume
That would explain why they don't have any kids.
Indeed. Anyway,
Yeah.
next now we've pissed off both sides of the debate. On to Doctor Who. Woo.
Yay! I haven't watched this in years.
When was the last Doctor Who you watched? David Tennant? Or not even?
Yes, I think I watched a bit of the third series with I forget what her name is. I don't just want to describe her as the black woman,
Oh,
but
Martha.
I might have to Martha Stewart. And then I definitely stopped watching during the fucking Catherine Tate era. I have no idea what that was.
Yeah, she was dreadful.
Yeah, but I'd forgotten
And
about that. I think
it
that was
wasn't Catherine
refreshing.
Tate that was dreadful. It was also getting retarded. Like I mean, like the stories just stopped being interesting, and they were just running out of shit. And then I guess Stephen Moffat came in and revamped it or something because people seem to be saying it's amazing, but I haven't watched it.
Yeah, people really like the Matt Smith
No.
episodes. And Matt Smith in general. It's strange.
Although a lot of people are also saying it's quite weak. I don't know. It's getting weirdly mixed reviews sometimes.
Go on,
So
Simon. I think you're the one who's watched the most recent among us.
yeah, go on.
Ish.
Well, I stopped watching a while ago because I gave Matt Smith a chance. He had a good run. His first season was quite decent, and it made me watch. But subsequently after that, like I can't even remember who the partner is anymore. Like
It's the ginger
who's
Scottish
been the
lady,
partner since then?
the woman that everyone
Oh
thinks is
yeah.
really attractive. Hello, baby.
Oh no, yeah, I think she was quite good. But but yeah,
Sick
just like
fuck.
I think in the first couple of seasons of New Doctor Who, where you had Christopher Eccleston, the best Doctor, and David Tennant's first season, they still had a lot of cool ideas,
Controversial.
and it was worth watching just for the ideas and the sheer science fiction of it. But now it's just like seems to have just become very much sort of full of cliches and Deus Ex Machinas and sort of
big
trying,
like controversial events.
yeah, and like having the Doctor become like this really belated emotional character, which I find they do quite like ham-handedly, and it makes it so much less interesting. And when you've got to like look at like some like shitty CGI rhinoceros head dude walking around on the screen at the same time, you just think, why am I bothering?
No, I think like maybe the fact it's like even I guess they can't. The ideas are always sort of half held back by the fact it's a family show. Like I was recently watching the Star Trek episode Measure of a Man, and I was like, shit, this is good sci-fi because like they're actually exploring an idea, whereas Doctor Who really can't ever do that because it's being watched by kids as well.
I'm sure. Well, I mean,
So it's also just gotta have monster. Look at the monster. Oh, why are there always people around? Like they don't go to any interesting planets. a lot
Well,
of the
this is
time.
the kind of reason we're bringing it up at the moment, because they
Okay.
seem to have pulled the biggest kind of we've run out of idea moves ever, which is it's called The Secret of the Doctor or something, and it's about his name being revealed.
Yeah. His name
And
is Doctor. That's what's funny.
well, yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
Doctor
that's
Who,
it.
Doctor Who has no name.
And it was a
Well,
joke. Doctor Who?
conventionally, so
Yeah.
yeah.
It makes no sense. It's sort of like the equivalent of like having like I don't know, like during like Game of Thrones, you'd be like, oh who's been fucking Tyrion up the ass? It'd be like, well, I didn't even know this was a thing, but okay. Like unless his name is something which like is like the prestige and dramatically changes the show, it could be anything. It'd be like Phil. It'd be like, oh, that's good.
True, well, you can bet it'll be something
It needs to be a
stupid and from
prestige, yeah,
Gallifrey.
exactly.
Exactly.
It'll be something really emotional, like I was called what was it? Grey Wolf or something from the first
What?
one. What was the thing from the first one? The first like, come on, Simon,
Bad
you remember?
Wolf,
Bad Wolf. It'll be like, oh, my name's Bad Wolf, and I'll be like,
which
oh
is a great
shit, it's a
storyline.
reference. But
Um,
aside
well,
from
My name.
that,
Bad Wolf was Rose Tyler, so it can't be him. He can't have that name as well.
what if he does though, Simon? The writers say he can. He bloody well can.
Yeah,
Mr. B
well, I
Wolf.
imagine they've forgotten all about that.
Exactly. I forgot when it was good.
Yeah, I mean, maybe his name, he'll say like, oh, my name was Allah or something, and that'll be the big reveal.
They're like
Lovely.
Muhammad who?
Well, this is the thing. I mean, Simon, you don't even think they'll say his name, do you? But you said you don't think it'd come to anything.
Yeah, like, because a lot of the Doctor Who writing that I've seen of late is sort of very much having sort of big setups and really pathetic payoff because the writers can't be bothered, I guess. And yeah, like sort of all the like sort of things that look like they're going to be like big game-changing events for the series, like when they had the sort of the humanized TARDIS.
Oh yeah.
That happened. That was a thing. And they just like end up being like just really underwhelming payoffs for
How,
like
how,
big ideas.
how do they do this? Because it can't be like these things aren't even budget problems. It must just be that either their producers going no, tone it down, or people won't watch, or they are just boring writers. Which is a shame that they're being fucking employed.
Yeah. Well, another one that pissed me off is like how like pretty much every season now they go, the universe is going to be destroyed. The Doctor is going to die permanently. But obviously he never does,
Yeah, like,
and the universe is never destroyed.
and the Daleks are back. Doctor Who's killed the last Dalek, but for some reason the Daleks are back.
They
How do-
found yet another Dalek.
Also, because there's time travel, you can never kill the Daleks. They can just come through time, and they always seem to. Like, the Daleks aren't interesting, and I swear to God, the Daleks keep turning up in different
the way
colours so
time
they can be
works
sold
is-
as toys.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well, I
the
mean,
first one was when there was 4 multicolored Daleks
That was
as the
bullshit.
villains.
Wasn't that in that stupid fucking pig episode in Chicago where that guy was like, "What? Oh no, I'm a monster," and like his girlfriend was going like, "You're still beautiful to me, Johnny," and he's like, "Oh, I love you." It's God, that's fucking hilarious thing I've ever seen.
well, like in the first 2 seasons, they like I thought they legitimately like they had a plan for how to bring the Daleks into it. Like in the first season, it was just like, okay, there's Daleks, we're gonna get rid of the Daleks now. And then in the second season, it's like, oh shit, there's still a parallel universe full of Daleks. Let's bring all them through.
That's all right. You got
Like,
parallel universe that works.
yeah, but subsequently after that, they just have no idea how to do it smoothly.
Don't they just pop in for no reason?
There's an arc with
Yeah.
the last 7 Daleks. You must unlock them.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, let's keep it locked.
Yeah,
Let's keep
you
it
don't need to
closed.
break that open.
Yeah, like, even the episode where he went downstairs into that guy who like owned everything in the first season, I think, and he found a Dalek that they'd like had. That was a great way of revealing a
Yeah,
Dalek.
that was cool.
Yeah, they just yeah, you're right. They haven't done it well again.
Have there been any Daleks in the kind of Matt Smith episodes? Because I can't really think of any.
Been loads, I think, haven't there?
Has
I
there?
keep hearing that they keep coming back through
Yeah, they-
IO9.
Come about time to time. I think just like on a sort of single episode basis, maybe.
Don't the Cybermen keep coming back as well? Like shit, who cares? These things aren't that interesting. The Cybermen
well,
and the
the Cy- the
Daleks
Cyber-
aren't they the same thing?
No, the Cybermen have already proved that they're way inferior to the Daleks, because like 4 Daleks kicked the entire Cyberman army's ass. So I don't really know why they're considered a threat anymore.
Aren't they the same thing? They're basically
No.
the same philosophy.
I really don't know anymore because in season 1 and 2 you had the Cybermen and they sort of established the Cyberman like origin story, the mythos, and then like later on they have this fucking episode with James Corden where he finds some Cybermen underneath like a shopping mall, and then like he brings home like some kind of Cybermen device to his family, and it was a really shit episode, and it made
What?
no fucking sense.
Had James
That
fucking
sounds
Corden in it
awful.
already.
Yeah, that's like I didn't think you could try. Like that's my least favorite Doctor Who episode, and I haven't even seen it. Like, god damn.
Well,
Anyone who
every
likes Doctor Who
episode
who
of Gavin and
listens to this.
Stacey is my least favorite Doctor Who episode now. God.
Yeah, anyone who likes Doctor Who who listens to this is probably gonna think, man, these people know nothing about Doctor Who, because I'm just like paraphrasing horribly. I remember hating it at the time, and it made no
Well,
sense.
any Doctor Who fans, we're sorry that your show's been so widely discredited, and we hope that his name doesn't get revealed. And when they
yeah.
get I don't know, when they get rid of Matt Smith, I'll try again. Until then, I'm on boycott. Because I watched that episode a few days ago accidentally because it had Davos Seaworth in it, and like that was terrible. Like I'm not even sure if it's Matt Smith's fault at this point. I mean, he's not helping anything, but like it was. I think it was just structurally unsound.
Wasn't there an episode where they went to the center of the planet? They found lots of lizard people.
Probably.
Center of which planet?
Earth.
I don't know, because again in the Doctor Who mythology they've put too many things in the middle of Earth now. Because you had the Torchwood Miracle Day thing, that was to do with the middle of the Earth.
Oh, yeah.
And then in the first season you
but
had
Torchwood
Big Spider
was
thing.
nothing.
Yeah, but Torchwood is in the canon and is
Yeah, Torchwood is annoyingly canon.
Torchwood is just about people being bisexual, though, isn't it?
Did you hear that he's not coming back for the 50th anniversary special? Captain Jack or whatever.
Oh, John Barrowman's not coming back. Whatever shall we do?
Oh no.
Because you mean that guy that was in Shark Attack 3 and then failed to do good in America, so now dances for people like my gran, who goes, "Oh, he's such a good singer and dancer. It's a shame he's gay." Like that's all John Barrowman's fucking career is. I hate John Barrowman. He sucks dicks, and I don't mean that in a literal way because that's fine. I mean in a career way. Fuck John Barrowman.
Very elegantly put.
Yeah.
I don't know how big a Doctor Who fan were you before the whole kind of thing, or not really?
I used to tune in every week.
Will you try? Fair enough. Will you try again when Matt Smith's gone, or will you only try again when?
Seriously, I haven't even seen a Matt Smith episode. I've seen like half of one. He seemed fine.
Okay.
Yeah,
it's
I
just
think
the writing
Matt Smith
staff that you
is
don't like.
okay. The writing has been too heavily influenced by the terrible David Tennant era, and they seem to have forgotten how to write well. So.
What you liked at the beginning of the David Tennant era?
Yeah, it was good to begin with, but then they ran away with the whole like. I think Harvey does a better impression of David Tennant in his prime than I do, but the whole like exuberant personality, like.
Oh, like wacky
sort of,
kind of
Yeah,
scatterbrained.
wacky
kind
doc.
Oh
Converse.
God, those guys know how to throw a party.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I think that's just been the cancer that's been humouring away in the brain of Doctor for a while now.
Yeah. Well, that's a nice note to end on in terms of Doctor Who.
Yeah.
Now, Curiosity Cube, which you've actually played on. I've never done.
Say play.
Okay, you clicked on.
I have tapped a screen for about an hour, and I loved it. I loved every fucking moment of it.
Well, Peter Molyneux has decided to let people pay to untap the cube, which he's calling kind of experimental. Everyone else is calling fucking stupid.
Well, it's not stupid. He's gonna make loads of money for it.
Is he? I don't even know. Like, why? The object is to reveal the thing.
Yeah,
I will bow if anyone tells me that they bought Curiosity blocks, and I haven't even played it. I will punch them.
Exactly. I really want to know what's inside. And also the thing about it is no, well, it makes it like the thing about the store on it is so broken. I don't even know how people are going to buy the damn thing. But no, he makes money from it. People buy coins to like buy explosives. He's making
Oh, no,
quite
he
a lot
makes
of
money off of it. People don't make money. Like, he shouldn't be expecting to make money off of people reversing the process of what he's doing.
He will. He will. People will do that. I bet. And the way he says, "Oh, it's for out of curiosity." Yeah, curiosity about how much fucking money I can make. I'm curious. Oh,
Well,
what
it
if
is an
what if I
experiment.
stand in the street with a placard saying "fuck me in the ass" for £20 with a little hat? And he says, "Oh, I'm curious about how much money that will make." Are you, Peter? Are you?
Well, he's not. It's not like he's making any decent games at the moment. So I guess
It's
he
true.
should waste his time on this.
I love the way that like like the oh, let's add a more cube idea was like 2 years in development. This has been going on for ages now. I just want to see what's in the middle. I hope I win. I
He's
won't.
just like resting on his pool of money. And it's
Exactly.
like, gee, I wish this pool was bigger. Like, that's the source of Peter Molyneux's ingenuity now.
I'm gonna like stand right next to the fucking server and plug my like phone in just so I can hit the last cube the fastest. I want that prize.
Oh yeah, the life-changing prize. No, is the cube? What's behind the cube life-changing, or is it the prize for the guy who clicks last? I forget. No, is it mind-blowing? Mind-blowing or life-changing?
Mind-blowingly life-changing.
Yeah,
Which is
that's
pretty
both
big.
things.
Pretty big. I think, Aaron, even if you like gaped your ass and like jumped on my face, that would be amazing, but it wouldn't be mind-blowingly life-changing.
True. It might be one or the other. I mean, it could change your life if I get stuck there. It could blow
That's
your
true.
mind.
But it
at the
wouldn't be
sheer
it wouldn't be mind-blowing. It would just be annoyingly life-changing. I think he's thrown in too many fucking adjectives.
Yeah, he does. I don't think he knows what he's talking about.
No, neither do
He
I.
doesn't need to justify himself anymore either. That's the annoying thing. We've all just accepted that he's wacky.
No, he's just lying. He just lies a lot. We accept it. Yeah, I agree. It's fucking irritating. I mean, I hope no one does it because I agree they're subhuman scum. But
Yeah, I don't.
yeah.
Like, who has who has so much time to spare and so much money to spare that they can reset some challenges for themselves that are even challenges?
I mean, there's like a billion cubelets on there, so I don't know how much money you've got to spend to. If it's like a quid to put on a layer, then we're fucked.
Yeah, that thing's gonna be going forever.
I know. Oh well.
But hey, you can buy like dynamite or something, so I'm sure you can blow a fucking hole in the side of the cube.
I think that he's just added that just because, like, maybe he was at a dinner party and he got really drunk, and somebody was like, "Come on, Pete, what's in the cube?" And he went, "All right, I tell you." And like he just said, "Oh, it's like a picture of Jesus," and he's like saying, live long, and be nice to your brother." And they went, "Pete, that's shit." Like, that's not life-changing. And he went, "Oh, really? Oh, shit." Because I just thought putting a Facebook meme in the middle was good enough. Like, you know, oh, be kind to one another. So he's just adding, like, cubes so he's got more time to work something out.
Gotta make a game in the meanwhile. Well, that basically sums up Peter Molyneux's career. He's got to make a game in the meanwhile.
Excellent. I like the way that people say, "Oh, maybe it'll be like a play demo of like what was it? Fable 4." It'd be like I think Fable 4 is going to be out.
Yeah,
Before-
I mean,
before
if they're not
Curiosity
working
Cube's
on
done.
it, like.
There might be a demo of the Curiosity Cube too.
I would love that in the middle it was the chance for the person to reset the cube. And
What?
the mind-blowingly life-changing thing would people would spend their lives tapping on this cube till the end of time. That would be life-changing.
The thing was that he said if the person who gets it chooses not to reveal it, then it stays secret. It's like,
Exactly.
what?
What kind of asshole wouldn't reveal it?
I don't know.
Anyway, on to the questions, because I think that's basically the week done.
Yeah, that's the
everything-
whole week.
That was the week.
We haven't ignored any important news, which is good.
Except
So
No,
all the
that is
real world.
everything else.
so Aaron,
Except all the real world
what's in the
news.
questions? What's in the questions?
Some real world news.
Go on. Such as?
First of all, we have.
I hate
one-
these people so much. The way they
No.
ask this.
Oh, you hate yeah, I was gonna say you like our commenters at large.
Yeah, I love our
bastard.
commenters, but you haven't. I don't know why you've got this insistence on answering every
Well, because-
question.
Well, it's it's the only actual question that's not Game of Thrones related we've got.
True.
So
That wasn't even a question. That was, I want more Game of Thrones stuff.
no, Simon's dug out the actual. There's an actual Game
Okay,
of
there
Thrones
we go.
questions. It turns out.
Thank you, Anonymous. So, from Anonymous, we have
From
this
Anonymous
question.
at 1323. Why do you think America cared so much about the bombings when school shootings happen monthly?
Mhm.
So, why does America care so much about terrorist attacks on its land? This is the
Well,
question.
because it's on the news the most. That
Well,
decides
no,
how
I think
much people
well,
care.
surely maybe the question is how much the news coverage then? Why did it get so much news coverage?
Because
This
it
is
fits
true.
the narrative.
I didn't know that it wasn't like a proper terrorist attack. So I think the confusion that it was a terrorist attack, that's why it got big.
Well, what's a proper terrorist attack? Because I mean, it,
I mean,
it was
like,
Do you mean like behind like Al Qaeda or something?
yeah, from a sect who is trying to push Islamic views.
If it's not
That's what
brown
everyone thought it
people,
was.
then it's not terrorism.
Well, they were Islamists, to be fair. They
Were
did. The site had radical Islamic things on it. It just happens that they were two 19-year-old people who were disconnected from the rest of the kind of like Islamic sect cell, I guess.
Yeah, I think it literally it would be like, imagine if, there's a trailer for Man of Steel and everyone goes to go watch it and Man of Steel turns out to be, a Bratz sequel. It'd be like, oh, we cared too much about what the actual product was. And yeah, it's still quite serious. Like, it's quite big. It is like, I guess because it's in, it's a public bomb.
Well, what I found weird. They were calling
they
it the
do
biggest.
care about school shootings. They talk about a lot of school shootings.
Nowhere near that. I mean, I follow the news quite a lot, and like school.
Yeah.
I mean, there was even a school shooting that occurred like while this was happening, and it was eclipsed like the day later by more Boston stuff.
Jesus.
Like I mean, I'm really not. I think it because that's the thing that bugged me, especially
Mhm.
like over the first 4 days, they were calling it like the biggest attack on American soil since 9/11, and like how many people died in 9/11? Was it 3,000, 4,000?
Yeah,
something
something
like
like
that.
that.
Like 3 people died in Boston.
Yeah, it's the biggest.
Like it's incomparable.
Yeah. It's a bomb. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. that's what we've. It's the biggest bomb attack. I'll agree. It was worded wrong.
Yeah, and it's like I mean, I still think that school shootings are terror. Like I know obviously it's not like regimented terror.
No,
but
it is technically terrorism.
Yeah, I mean it's. But
Is
I
it
think
terrorism?
Well, like, I guess if you're trying to like
Well, the only reason it's not
push the
terrorism is
ideology
'cause-
that fuck you,
That's not an ideology, though.
you can push just an ideology of I hate society, man.
Well,
and
it's
then you can
attacking
kill
the
loads of people.
populace, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, what is?
Yeah, but it's attacking the populace for no agenda and to no end.
Wasn't the agenda sometimes respect me? You've bullied me
There's
too much.
there's no way you can stop. Well, there's no way that like centralized government can stop school shootings from happening by reasoning with the school shooters
Well,
because
these
they
two,
just want to kill everyone.
Well, you saw the uncle just say that these guys wanted to do it because they were losers and not because of Islam. Like, if that's true, then these are no better than school shooters. The only difference is that they didn't use the guns that Americans try so hard to protect.
It'd be annoying to if they had actually done it for Islam, and their uncle was sort of just slagging it off, like, because that means that it was all for nothing.
True. There's a debate. Well, there's a divide, I assume, because obviously their website says one thing that they believe in radical Islam, but then he says that it had nothing to do with that. I'm assuming they know better than him.
I wouldn't believe the uncle.
No.
So, yeah, this might just be a. I mean,
No.
it sounds like a pretty shitty sect.
Well, it was amateur. As
Cell.
fuck,
I mean, why do I keep saying sect? I mean cell.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It was a strange question. We're not. I mean, none of us are really qualified to answer it.
Also, I think it's probably bigger because of all the other marathons coming up, like the London Marathon. So that's why it got internationally. Like,
I
oh
guess
shit,
it's
we got to boost
also-
the security. Whereas,
Yeah.
like, if you have one school shooting, like kids in Leeds, teachers in Leeds are like, oh shit, we better protect our kids from having a school shooting. Like, it's not as internationally. Like,
Which is weird because our bomb laws are harsher than America as well, or like black powder is way less readily available over here than it is in America. And yet for some reason we think that bombs are universal, whereas guns are not.
Well, images of things being blown up are much more evocative but also much more easy for people to digest when they see them on the news because they see a cloud of smoke and they get really scared, but they don't have to look at any blood or dead bodies or anything.
Unless you look at the extra footage.
Yeah, like we all did within 20 minutes of it coming
Which
out.
Aaron sent me over
I sent
Facebook.
that to everyone.
Thanks,
That was
Aaron.
really interesting, to be fair. I thought. Like,
Yeah, it was
what
interesting.
what got me was he saw the two explosions and ran towards them. Like,
True, yeah.
he knew there was more than one explosion, so it was logical to assume there might be more than two. And he was just like, "Yep, gotta run towards it." Like, that man's got
Nice.
balls.
I guess.
Like, my camera footage would have been me like running to the nearest subway.
But the London Marathon's safe, isn't it?
I don't know why anyone thought the London Marathon.
No,
Like, even if it was international terrorism, I don't
because
understand why
it
anyone
wasn't
thought that London would be an issue.
we said it was an attack on fun runs.
No, yeah.
It's to stop.
The decadent
It
West's
was
fun
to stop
runs.
Pudsey Bear and Winnie the Pooh, like sort of dressed people from running. That's what it's always been about, Aaron.
This is the worst thing they've ever done since 9/11.
Exactly. They tried to
True.
kill a man dressed as Scooby Doo.
Hmm.
The ultimate sign of the West.
First they attacked capitalism, now this. But yeah, I think that's answered your question, Anonymous.
Yeah. I don't. Yeah. I think there's two reasons why, and yeah, maybe they do ignore some school shootings, but there's loads of them. Come on.
That's not a justification. If there were
Yeah,
loads of
there's
terror
loads.
attacks, they'd cover them.
I was looking up the.
I don't think they would.
Would you?
To be honest,
If they were
right?
like daily, they'd just be like, or like monthly, they'd be like, nope, just another terrorist
There was a
attack.
Because
teenage.
if people see school shootings happening every day, they just go, "Well, stop telling me about school shootings." They take it for
True.
granted.
It's supply and demand. People don't like being told about stuff all the time.
Sickening, but probably true.
I mean, the only school shootings that we hear about are the ones which, like, can in some way be tied into some agenda.
Yeah, all the ones that are big enough to win a Guinness. those the ones we're interested.
Yeah.
But,
So go on, Simon. You've got the other two questions. I haven't got them down here, so I can't read them out.
Okay. Well, on the A Feast for Crows expansion article, which hopefully everyone enjoyed. Anonymous asked, when will everything be announced? Is there a release date? I did answer on the article, but we can talk a bit more about the information that's come out about the Feast for Crows expansion. Main
I heard
thing,
a month and a half,
really,
or is there no actual date yet?
I don't know if there's an actual release date, but there's definitely a lot more information that we've talked about. So we know that we know all the information about what cards are going to be added to House Aaron. They seem alright. They seem pretty cool.
Yeah, I like the look of them. I'm a bit disappointed at the no house cards for everyone else, though.
Yeah, well, we don't know whether that's a temporary thing.
If that's final or not.
I think if the expansion just ships with the Aaron cards and like the objective cards and the Westeros cards that are new, then that's probably going to be pretty shit. And I think it would be much better if they put in like the Aaron pieces, which loads of people seem to want Aaron pieces, even though it's just sort of like little bits of plastic painted blue.
Yeah.
I think it would add a lot to the value.
I agree, and also the tokens. Like, I know the tokens are a secondary concern, but the tokens is like it looks so cheap with Terrell tokens on them.
Yeah, I agree. But yeah, like we've learned some stuff about how the objectives work. So you get given 5 objective cards at the start, and then in a sort of Twilight Imperium style, you then eliminate ones which you don't want to do, and you're left with a hand of objectives that you can complete at your leisure. And then when you complete one, you pick up another one, so you always have 3 in your hand.
The points count after so you get one, you get the points for it, you put it away, you get another card.
Yeah, it seems to be that way.
Pretty good.
But yeah, there's a lot of information on BoardGameGeek.com for people who are interested. There's a nice little thread about it.
What are you laughing at?
I don't know why Board Game Geek's funny.
Oh, it's a great website.
I know, it's just the name. Sorry, God.
Well, being honest.
Yeah, so that's an adequate response to Anonymous's question, unless anyone has anything else to add.
No, I mean, like you said, I'm kind of annoyed at the current state it's in, if that is how it's going to ship. But
yeah, I mean, there's
let's not pretend I'm not going to buy it. Like,
yeah.
At the very.
Well, I'm sure everyone who has read A Feast for Crows knows the massive time paradox involved if they don't add new cards.
Yeah, it's going to be bullshit if so.
Yeah, but I guess, I mean, the theme isn't that important. It's about the game, so a little bit of inconsistency doesn't matter all that much.
I suppose. But it's still, I don't know, it feels, I mean, so far they've managed to have both, so why not continue a fantasy flight?
Yeah, and so we had another question on the Song of Ice and Fire podcast.
All Game of Thrones. All Game of Thrones.
What?
Obviously. Nothing. Go on.
Yeah, so we've got one question which we can answer without spoilers, and another question to do with one character and another character, which is quite an interesting question, but which we can't answer because it would be spoilers.
Yeah, we'll save it. Go on then.
So Anonymous, do you guys take questions? Blah, blah, blah. If so, do you find George Martin writes good / strong women? I think we can all have an opinion on this. So,
yeah.
Someone.
Go on, Harvey. What do you think from the show alone? Do you think George Martin writes strong women, or has strong women characters?
Yeah. I can't think of anyone who's doesn't look like they can't handle themselves. Like Catelyn could be like seen as a bit like when like what's his face? Keep forgetting his fucking son's name for some reason.
Which one? Bran, Rob, Rickon?
No, not Catelyn. I don't mean Catelyn. Jesus Christ.
Cersei.
And
Joffrey.
Oh, Joffrey. Oh my god. Jesus. Anyway, yeah. So maybe I'm one of the dumbasses that watches the show. Oh well.
Yeah, maybe.
Anyway, go on.
But yeah, yeah. I even like Cersei. Even like she seems like when when Joffrey's shouting her down, like it seems like she knows how the system works. So even when people are apparently appearing to be like little fucking bitches, and like sort of being weak, they're actually like they're just like living within the system and they seem quite strong. If anything, the only weak female character is Sansa, but that's just because she's lived quite a sheltered life. So I think for the most part, like everyone seems to have been made strong by their background. Like Daenerys is strong. Arya, who used to be my favorite character, she isn't anymore because she stopped doing stuff. She stopped doing stuff, but even Arya is strong, and like the fact you can get like a 12-year-old girl who's like probably more like fucking resolute than most of the other characters in the show. Yeah, I like the female characters in it, but they're not all like just we haven't just made them strong because they're all fucking warrior people. They're like strong in different ways. Like Brienne, she's like she's actually pretty fucking ridiculous. She's actually hurting people. Whereas you get on the other hand you get Cersei, who's strong because she knows how to play the system, and but she's quite like bitter and horrible inside. So yeah,
I think I disagree with you about Sansa. I think she goes through a lot of shit, and the fact that she just takes it, I don't know whether that attests to her strength.
I think because Cersei gives it out at least sometimes, whereas Sansa never gives it out. Sansa's just I think I just don't like Sansa, to be honest.
Right. Well, I mean, I think in order to answer the question, we need to sort of say, well, what would a not strong woman look like? Because, like, when you think of any of the characters in the books, you go, oh, well, they go through a lot of shit, or they get a lot of shit done. But
Sansa is my example.
The definition of a weak woman. Well, that I see. So I guess someone who's like, I guess then that is passive. And
someone who is involved in a situation but doesn't really have any control over it. I think Sansa is that. Sansa is just like the hounds.
Yeah, but Sansa is completely outclassed in terms of politics and force.
She's been given a chance to leave so many times. She just never takes any of these options.
Wait, has she? She hasn't been given a chance to leave yet.
The Hound said, "Come with me." Littlefinger was like, "I can get you out of here," and she's like, "No, it's David Joffrey."
I don't know. Would you go with the Hound?
Yeah, I'd go with the Hound. The Hound's a great guy.
Look at that guy's face.
Listen, he's dangerous as fuck.
Why is he? If he wanted to fuck her or kill her, he'd have done it there.
He's a beautiful little flower.
He killed his kids. Were they annoying? Were they like Sansa?
He killed the kid in the first season.
When did he kill a kid?
The ginger boy.
Oh yeah, but that guy was an asshole. Come on.
He was poor anyway, wasn't he?
Yeah, exactly.
He pissed off King Joffrey, Simon. What do you expect?
Yeah. Well, I think maybe the weakest woman in the whole series might be Daenerys, because she just takes what she's given in the Sansa way, but then she's given power and just sort of takes it for granted. I think.
I don't think she uses it well at all either.
Yeah, I think she just gets by on the fact that she has these dragons, but she has no idea how to use them. She's basically there by luck.
She's not a good strategic strategist.
She also relies on like the people around her like way too much. Like they're basically the ones giving her good ideas that she frequently rejects.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say she's probably a weak woman in Game of Thrones, but in general, yeah, George Martin does write strong women.
I mean, I know Brienne's like the typical kind of can kick a man's ass strong woman, but I think even then he does that really well as a thing.
Yeah. And all the wildling women are also just that kind of we've grown up where we need to fight.
Yeah, correctly. Yeah, Griffith's pretty good as well.
I think it's the fact he's got a variation on what strong means.
True. I like the Queen of Thorns and Marjorie as well. I think are quite kind of in control women. Queen of Thorns especially, I think, is an incredible character.
Yeah, definitely. Although slightly overshadowed and hardly ever seen after the third book.
Sure. Well, I'm assuming she'll make a comeback, or that will be part of her glory. But no, yeah. Actually, no. Liza's a weak woman in Game of Thrones. There you go. Done.
Who's Liza?
Lisa Aaron, the breastfeeding woman.
Oh, I don't know. I wouldn't want to mess with her. It frightens me. If I was there and she said suck on a tit, I'd say yeah, okay. I'll suck on your tits. I'm sorry.
That's no.
She's got a horrible...
That isn't her objective to get people to suck on her tits.
But if she asked, I'd do.
Okay.
That's nice to know.
Yeah, no, she would probably count as a weak woman. Yeah, but some people are strong, some people are weak. It's not all about just writing.
She's sort of weak morally and all those other things.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say like she's still got power. Like she's clearly in a position.
Power. Like we said, Daenerys has power, but still, at points, like either misuses it or doesn't know how to use it, etc.
I don't think that's weak. I think that's new to the whole game. I think
Liza's like 40, 50. So
although at times I do feel that like Daenerys is sort of, they keep saying, oh, the people follow you because you're strong, and it seems like she's like being promoted as strong for plot reasons rather than actually. I don't see half the time why fuck me.
Khaleesi?
the Carls.
The Dothraki.
The Dothraki, fucking hell, are like hanging around with her. It just seems they've done it because like
most of them
they were banished.
Yeah, I was gonna say loads of them fled. They're basically just the old, the cripple, and the incredibly loyal at this point.
Yes, I'm not sure she deserves a lot of what she gets, but I don't think she's weak.
Well, in that case, you're going to be really happy at episode 4 because she gets a lot more.
Yay! I don't think she should win.
True. Well, that's one of the debates. Though I think we'll get to who wins later on. Like maybe when we're all 27 or something, because it'll be about when we know who wins.
Yeah.
God, and the podcast will come in like fucking pill form, or whatever. But anyways, it's all right. So yeah.
Very beautiful. I think that's our questions. Yeah.
I think that's it. We've got no other questions. So thanks for listening.
Oh wait, we've still got our segment of articles we didn't write this week.
Oh yeah, go on.
Right.
You start first, considering you write the most least articles you don't write.
Okay, well the article I didn't write this week was I probably would have written something about Trackmania 2 because it's a fucking brilliant game, and someone needs to tell the world about why Trackmania is so good. So unfortunately, if you're listening to this, then you missed the Steam sale. But next time it is on sale, it's worth watching out for. I picked it up for £7, I think. And it's just a brilliant racing game to play online with friends.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I would have written about.
Harvey, have you actually been writing this week? So do you have no writing regrets?
One which I haven't got around to. I've got one which I've got planned, but it's related to things which have not come to pass, and unfortunately some fucking twat has actually made it probably last longer. I won't say who it is.
What's that?
Huh?
Okay.
Molyneux. I'll just say that.
Oh yeah.
But basically, well, I got to write a fucking Milo Zalota review, but
Yeah, the fans are
I've got a
clamoring for it.
dissertation and I've got to scan them all in. I'll do it in a bit, but I don't have that many ideas about it because it's all right. So we'll see. And then no, the one article which I did want to write, but I told you I was writing it, and then my laptop broke and it deleted all the files. Was literally that really cheap one where I was going to write about a Red Dead Redemption sequel and how they need to find a third R word because they've had Revolver and Redemption, and then I was basically going to do lots of funny pictures, like it would be like Red Dead, Red Dead ravaging and stuff like that, and then have a funny picture about what the plot would be.
I swear you already did that.
No, I started.
You never got around to it.
No, I started it and the computer broke.
No, I have seen a lot of them.
Those pictures.
They're good.
Those pictures took a while, so they're done now.
Have you got them on your new computer, or are they gone to the winds?
They're gone for good. So I mean, I might redo that if I can ever be bothered.
Well, the articles I would have written, or I probably might even still get around to writing this week, is I want to write at least 2 more on the Dynasty Warriors / Warriors series. I'm playing a lot of that. I kind of had to cut it short with the last one. But I basically just, I think they're pretty underappreciated and little known. But more pressingly, I've just started playing Pokemon again and can class myself as thoroughly addicted. Having caught 175 Pokemon in 4.5 days. That's a lot of Pokemon, I then realised. And so,
I hate that game so much.
You've never played it.
I know. I will one day.
You will, and then you'll catch 1,200 Pokemon.
I'm not going to catch them all. I'll catch some of them.
Well, no, they had to even drop the title, subtitle, catch them all, because it became unobtainable.
Really?
Yeah, it was after 250 they dropped it because it was an unrealistic kind of precedent to set.
Fair enough. God, there's 1,000 now.
No, I'm saying there will be when you get around to playing them. There's 634.
Oh, that's hardly any.
Yeah, barely any, right? No, I'm already 175.
It's been a nightmare being a designer on that game.
Yeah, true.
You're out of animals.
Actually,
you just need to lower your standards.
Yeah, that's what they've been doing.
If you run out of animals, just use sort of either abstract concepts
or the same animal.
Things you see on your desk that day.
I would be sitting there thinking, oh my god, the only 2 ideas I have are rape and spiders, and they've done a spider one.
Well, this is the thing, because if you've used all the animals, you just reuse the animals, because then you can make another bat, and another spider, and another rat, and another pigeon.
You just gotta start combining them. Like, it's the head of a rat and the body of a rapist.
And he would just be called Raper Rat or something, or Ratter Rape.
Oh god, that's it. Yeah.
But no, I mean, I'm really enjoying Pokemon Black and White, and I'm probably going to get Black and White too. And then we all know I'm probably going to go X and Y. So who knows how much revision I'm going to get done. But that's an article I'm probably going to write. Because my original plan was to write them as I went through the story, but I ended up completing the story within a day and a half. So
you've done the game then.
Well, no, there's so many more Pokemons to get. Okay. But I've got like 3 pages of notes from like the first maybe 5 hours of the story. So
are there any battles to have, or do you just catch the Pokemon there?
Yeah, there's plenty of battles to do as well.
Do you get any more stuff from doing those battles?
Yeah. You get more moves, you get more Pokemon, you get more variants, etc. I'm really tempted at the moment because since Generation 3 of Pokemon, you can transfer Pokemon from your old games to the new ones, so they keep going. And like I got like 400 and something Pokemon, or like they're 400 and something in the last gen where there were less Pokemon than there are now. And like I'm thinking of transferring them all across, but like they're really overpowered. I don't know. I think it might ruin the game. Probably for an article.
Yeah. Just don't let it prey on your mind too much.
It tears me up. Keeps me awake at night. But yeah.
It does that as Raper Rat.
So we just finished our first segment. Hooray.
Yay.
Good work, team.
Alright.
So,
Bye, everyone.
until next time. What was it City and Sweet used to say?
I don't
Bye
know, I
bye,
thought it was-
everybody. Bye bye.
Bye, everyone. Oh, and yeah, and add your questions and stuff.
Yeah, comment away.
In the comment area, or as I've pointed out, the podcast area of the website.
Oh, is that where they should be?
Yeah, that's what I said. That makes sense. But anyway, alright, bye. Say bye, Simon. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Say goodbye again, Aaron.
Bye.
I just like the power.
No